special welcome to you as well. Please feel free to join in the conversation down in the comments. I very much welcome you to do so. I am Red June, and yes, I am crazy. I have lived with some form of diagnosed mental illness since I was about 9 years old. I'm working on doing a video about my history with mental illness, but that's something that I just haven't really gotten into a place where I'm really good at talking about it, so I'm going to put that off for maybe another week. Today I'd like to tell you about kind of what brought me to doing a channel on YouTube, what brought me here. So I've actually talked to my friends about the possibility of having a YouTube channel for years, just kind of throwing out the idea, but I'm not really the kind of person that wants to put myself out there on camera, so this is actually a really uncomfortable thing for me to do. And in the past, every time I kind of had the thought, I just kind of thought it was a little fantasy idea that I had and never really thought it would be something that I would actually be doing. But here I am, and it's kind of an interesting story as to how it came about. So, years ago, my dad was diagnosed with a disease that I'm not really going to talk about a whole lot here because, one, there's a whole lot of information and enough information for another entire video, and two, I would really like to get his permission and his input on how much of that he's okay with me discussing. But for now, let's just say that it is a disorder that limits his mobility and is progressive. And one of the things in particular that he has difficulty with is when it gets cold outside or cold inside, he has difficulty with moving his muscles and his joints. So years ago, my parents bought a place down south and would visit that for several months out of the year. And as my dad's disease kind of progressed, they started spending more and more time down there. Several years back, I actually moved down to Florida so that when my mom and my dad came down in the early winter months, my mom could leave and leave my dad down there knowing that I was across town and could kind of check in on him and everything like that, and then she would come back at the end of winter before going back up. To be clear, there were other reasons also why I moved down to Florida, but that was one of them. About 3 years ago, my dad started getting progressively worse to the point where he couldn't really take care of our bigger house up north, and I ended up moving back up north to more take care of the house and stuff so that my mom could kind of take care of him. So at that point in time, they ended up kind of shortening the amount of time that they would spend down south to 2 months, and now at this point my mom goes down there with him and stays the full time with him so that he's not living on his own at any point. During those 2 months that they go down south, I'm up here taking care of the animals in the house, etc. But it's really cold and usually it snows, and I end up having this kind of period of being by myself in a big house, and it's not really great for my mental health. In fact, the last 2 years of doing this was really bad for my mental health. So I knew coming up on the 3rd year of doing this that I needed to make some changes, or at least keep track of what was and wasn't working. Oh, hi, kitten. Hi. So this year, knowing that I needed to make some changes, or at least document what was going on, I decided to turn on my phone camera and vlog every day, at least for a couple of minutes, and at least document how I was feeling that day. And actually, this is one of those tapes because I'm now on day 44 of this experience. And I kind of figured out by about day 30 that sitting in front of the camera talking about this kind of stuff really helps, but I'd really like to get some other people's feedback. So part of this is for me, but also part of this is because I want to share with you guys and show you the things that are working for me and aren't working for me, and hopefully we can kind of go through this journey together. Also, I want to share with people who aren't familiar with mental illness and kind of remove a little bit of the stigma of mental illness, give you a little bit of a view into the life of somebody who lives with mental illness. Right, Kitten? Well, this is my first attempt at like a real edited YouTube video. So I hope you guys found it informative, or at least enjoyable. And please let me know what you think. Please leave your comments down below, and I'd love to get back to you. Thank you.